US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 23rd of September. Starting with the S&P, which is, I suppose, ahead of schedule here in terms of the journey to the top of that rising trend channel, 6770. We were looking for that by the end of next month. There's even a chance we might get there by the end of this month. Very strong candles in recent days. RSI is overbought, but not enough to ruin the journey towards that 6770 zone, at least while we're above recent broken resistance around the 6625 level. While we're above that, looking for the top of the channel. The next market is the Nasdaq 100, and here we're stretching towards the top of that rising trend channel from April. The level there, 25,000. Above that, we were looking for 26,000, and a late January resistance line projection by the end of next month. On the downside, hoping that we'll now stay at least on the right side of recent support and old resistance around 24,000. Moving on to the stocks, and lots of stocks, not enough stocks, I suppose, to boost the viewing figures here, but obviously this remains a bit of a pleasurable secret for those who actually watch these charting videos. Here you can see we start off with ARB, which was covered just a few days ago, and we've broken and hit the first target there around $9.20. Above that, looking for the top of the triangle and the top of the range towards $18, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above that broken resistance line there from back in March. Another recent inclusion has been Bakkt holdings, and here we've had produced a bear trap island reversals, gapping through the 50-day moving average there at $11, or I'll call it $12, and above that, looking at the top of the rising trend channel base there as high as $19 by the end of next month. Not much to go on here apart from, I suppose, an end of day close back above the 200-day line, just near that $15 mark. 1496 to be a trigger for the next leg to the upside. But the highlight here, basically, that bear trap island reversal, which tends to mean that we have a strong rebound on the right-hand side. Very proud of the next one, which is called Boxlight, which I remember talking about just a couple of days ago. Here you can see we've blown the lights out in terms of the target there towards $4.40. And the next level up, which is hopefully a sustained level, would be the $6 area, the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base from back in February. So above 440, looking for basically $6 to hold. Moving on to another potential decent situation, which is Diginex, and here we've got a rising trend channel, top of the channel there, heading for 36, rather $26, and we're looking at that while we remain above recent broken resistance around the $14.70 level, by that peak there, $14.59. So above that, looking for the $26 level. Ideally, there's no end-of-day close back below yesterday's support, $15.70, but that might be asking a little bit too much. Kodiak Sciences is next, and here you can see we've also broken a previous target there towards $13.80. Above that, looking for the upper parallel of that rising trend channel from March, as high as $19 by the end of next month, or hopefully a little bit sooner than that. Another near-term repeat is coming back, and here you can see that we've got Nvni Group, which is broken, which broke the top of the channel there, 105 cents. Above that, we're looking for the upper parallel of that rising trend channel, perhaps as high as $2.20 by the end of next month, or perhaps, as usual, as we normally say, even sooner. Best case scenario here is that we stay above the 200-day line at $1.13, ahead of going to $2 plus on that situation. Moving along to Oriental Rise, which sounds rather poetic, and so far in terms of the charting has been as well. We've gapped through the 50-day moving average there at $18.12, and above that, looking at the top of the channel, which we have been all along, up to 32 cents rather, and hoping for that by the end of next month. So above 18 cents, looking for 32 on that. On to the last few. The first one is one which I remember talking about just a couple of days ago as well, which is always a good sign. Shows that the memory is still working. Here we've got Qualigen, and here the shares breaking by some degree. The initial target there, which was the top of that falling trend channel there, $3.60. In fact, we went up towards $9 or $8.80. That's the top of a broadening triangle. What will be interesting now to see how far the shares come back. Ideally, they don't come back lower than yesterday's low at $4.71, maybe allowed down to 4.50, which was the old peak area back in April, 4.42 or so. But a retest of the $9 area, or a test of the $9 area, hopefully on tap as a best case scenario target by the end of next month for Qualigen. Moving along to Soluna, and here you can see that it's another stock which has beaten our initial target. That was around 124 cents. Above that, looking for the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base from April, as high as $2.60. The key here, though, I suppose, is the way that we managed to break through the 200-day moving average so sharply and so consistently. If we're really lucky, we'll stay above the old peak there from July, around $1.70. Finishing off with another repeat stock, which has done well, Skyline, and here fast approaching the initial target there, the top of the triangle there at $4.20, and looking for that, especially while we're above recent broken resistance around the $2.78 level. In fact, the high there, 288 on the 11th of September, so above that, looking towards the $4 zone. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.